Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Damiano Cambridge. It's a pleasure to see you. Today's video, I want to talk to you about something that has greatly impacted my life over the last almost 4 years now, and that is living with hypothyroidism. I've wanted to make this video for as long as I can remember being on YouTube. I just never really knew how to word it or get around the subject in the best way, but I believe that I've finally put it down in the way that I think is most honest, brutal, and helpful for other people going through the situation. I ain't gonna lie, it has been quite the journey over the last 4 years. I feel like I've struggled a lot. I feel like I've also learned a lot. And I believe that I have a few coping mechanisms that I believe can help you, so stick around for that. And if you're excited for today's video, go ahead and see the little like button and give it the Tyson Fury one bang. And if you're new around here, my name is Damiano. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. We cover everything from fitness, health, personal growth, tech, and everything in between. So with all that said, let's get into today's video. Before I tell you my journey to diagnosis, let's go through what hypothyroidism is. Hypothyroidism is an autoimmune disease, which, if you don't know, your thyroid is a little butterfly-shaped gland, sort of here in front of your windpipe, and it doesn't produce enough T3 or T4 or TSH hormone, which can lead to various symptoms such as extreme fatigue, brain fog, excessive weight gain, muscle and joint pains, just to name a few. So diagnosis comes from having your bloods done. You'll have your TSH, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone, your T4, which is thyroxine, and your T3, which I am not even going to butcher the name of, but that's your active hormone, active thyroid hormone. And if you have low levels in that, hypothyroidism or underactive thyroid. Following the blood test, you'll be prescribed a medication called levothyroxine, which is a synthetic thyroid hormone, and you'll have to take that for the rest of your life. The amount of levothyroxine you take will be dependent on the functionality of your thyroid. Over time, it will deplete, so your medication will go up. So with that overview of the condition, let me tell you about my journey and my struggles with the situation. So in the beginning of 2020, life couldn't really have been any better for me, if I'm honest. I had everything I could have ever wanted. I had a nice house, my family. I was a teacher in an amazing school full of amazing staff. And I was probably the happiest I've ever been in my entire, at that point, 30 years of my entire life. But it got to sort of March time. But around March, I started feeling a bit cloudy and foggy, and very disconnected and dissociative from the world. I was starting to decline in my performance at work. Now, I had felt this before, this foggy dissociativeness, disconnect from the world before. I had felt it before a few times growing up, when I was about 12, when I was 16, and when I was 18. But all those times, the dissociative disconnect sort of disappeared after a few weeks. So I was hoping that the same would apply in this case. However, as the days went on, it just got worse. I got more and more dissociative, more and more disconnected from the world. I couldn't focus. I was extremely tired. I was achy. And I just couldn't face life, basically. So at this point, I would like to shout out my kids and my partner for those early pre-diagnosis days, for sticking with me and allowing me to sort of be the hindrance in their life that I was, because I was fucked, pretty much. I couldn't get up, I couldn't do anything, and they stuck with me. And it got to a point where for a while I was jobless because I just could not do it. and my partner was the sole breadwinner in the house, and she doesn't know how much I appreciate it. I don't really tell her very much, if ever, so I'm telling you now, thank you for all of that. I really do appreciate it. I know I don't say it enough, or if ever, but I do, and I can't put into words how appreciative I am of the three of you for being there for me and allowing me to get back on the road to recovery and get to the point that I'm at today. It got to a point where I started noticing like a lump here in my neck, and obviously when you notice lumps, you scare and you worry and you think, I've possibly got cancer. So immediately I rang the GP, and this was way back in the first lockdown where they wasn't allowing anybody in, and they'd stopped cancer treatments and they'd stopped like life-saving treatments. So the GP called me straight in, and I just want to shout that guy out because they weren't doing it. A lot of them weren't doing it, and he told me to come straight in. So I went, and he checked me around here, and he asked me questions like family history, and basically came to the conclusion that I had swollen lymph nodes, and I was probably fighting a virus, and I should be right as rain in a couple of days. However, weeks passed, and I didn't feel any better at all. So I remember one Saturday we were due to have family over, and I just wasn't here. I wasn't on this planet. Wherever I wasn't here. So it got to the point where I had to text my mum. My relationship with my mum is terrible, and I basically said, I don't care what you're doing, you need to come and get me and take me to the hospital. And she did, which was a surprise. She took me to A&E, and she waited for me, which was surprising. I don't really remember too much of it, other than telling the guy everything that had been going on, and he basically did the same checks, but at this point he did a blood test. And I remember this because he kept taking the needle out of my arm, putting it back in my arm, taking it out of my arm and putting it back in my arm. Never changed the needle. I don't know if that's normal, but that's what happened. And he told me I should get my results in the next few hours or tomorrow. But later that night, it was like 5 p.m, and I got my results by phone call from my GP. She called me and she said, your results basically are saying you've got hypothyroidism. So the best thing to do is to contact an endocrinologist and go and get it clarified, basically. So the following Monday I did that. I went and I had more tests. He asked about history and stuff. Turns out my nana had hypothyroidism, so I could tell him that at that point, but he was so convinced that I had it anyway that he prescribed me some levothyroxine to take from that day on without even getting clarified. Basically told me that I take this and my life will go back to normal, but I can tell you here and now that is a lie. So if you're at the beginning of your journey with hypothyroidism, you don't just take this pill and everything will be fine. That's not the case. As much as they tell you it will be, it won't be. There's a lot more that you need to sort of fine tune within your lifestyle to make yourself feel ultimately better. I don't think you'll ever be the person you were before. I don't know if it's the same for other people, but certainly for me, I in 4 years, I've never felt the same person as I was before diagnosis. But it's not all bad. Largely, I've learned to live alongside having hypothyroidism, and what that looks like for me might be different for you. So for me, I have left a high pressure job, started work in an outdoor environment, less hours, more money, which is good, and a lot more fresh air and exercise, I suppose. So that over 30 screaming kids every day is definitely beneficial for me. I've started taking inflammatory foods out of my diet, like gluten and dairy. I try to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. Hopefully, if I'm on form, anywhere over 60 minutes is good. They say that cardio-based exercise isn't good for people with hypothyroidism, but I can't say that that's the case, because I run 10Ks and 5Ks and I do running training all the time, and I don't ever feel like it's negatively impacted me at all. Obviously, be mindful that that is the research and what they're saying, but like I say, it's never negatively impacted me. So it might be the same for you, but it might not be. Everybody's case is different. I try to keep to a sleep schedule, so I try to go to bed at 9 o'clock every day and wake up at 7 every morning, and I will take my medication the minute I wake up and not eat my breakfast or drink anything for at least 30 minutes after. And I try to keep to as minimal stress in my life as I possibly can, but living with 3 females, it's not as easy as it may sound. At this point in the video, I just want to point out that there's a lot going on in the house tonight, and I'm trying to finish this video for Wednesday, so if you can hear like the washing machine and everything going, or the kids running about, that's why. So the audio probably isn't the greatest. I've had a bit of problem with my camera, only recording like half of the footage and then blanking the rest of the footage out. So I'm trying to do this and get it edited and uploaded ready for Wednesday, because I like to try and upload every Wednesday. But I appreciate you for sticking through the video regardless of the audio and the filming quality. Let's get back to the video. So I've got a couple of tips for you guys here. I will read them off my phone. So if you see me looking down, I am reading off my phone. You don't have to do this, but I feel like you should try it. So the first one is take rests whenever you feel like you need to. That doesn't mean going to sleep, naps, all that sort of stuff. Sit down, lay down. If you feel like you need to do it, do it. Work with your body, not against your body. The second one, use reminders, either be sticky notes, use an app or a journal. I use Todoist, and that just sticks on my home screen. My partner can put things on there that she thinks I need to do, and I can just see it. So a lot of the time I just open my phone and it's there, and I know what I need to do. The third one is eat 3 Brazil nuts a day. Why? Why, you ask? Brazil nuts are very high in selenium, and selenium helps to metabolize the food to convert into the hormones that you eat. But don't eat more than 3 a day, because you can get selenium toxicity and you don't want that. And number 4, cut out inflammatory foods such as gluten and dairy and sugars. Just don't do it to yourself. Eat a whole foods diet. Whole foods, if you don't know, means anything that comes out of the fucking ground. Fruit, veg, nuts, grains, anything you can grow, you should consume. A lot of people say sticking to it like a paleo diet is good, or a keto diet, but it's obviously up to you what you do. So that's the video. Living with hypothyroidism isn't fun. But if you educate yourself and look after yourself, work with your body, not against your body, then largely you can live alongside it, as I've learned to live alongside it. If you have any questions at all about any of this, if you feel like I might have missed something, if there's something else regarding this illness that you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments down there. I'm more than happy to talk to you guys about it. If you're just starting your journey, I'm sorry that you're having to go through this, but you can do it. You can still enjoy your life. I'm with you, and I hope it's not as evil to you as it was to me. It's different for everybody, and I hope that you don't have to go through the same shit that I did. So thank you for being here and listening to my journey. I hope the tips that I have given you, or the insight to my experiences, have helped in any kind of way. If you've liked the video, obviously give it the pop bang, and if you're new around here, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. We're going to do content like this throughout, anything to do with health, fitness, personal growth, technology. If you're excited for any of that, if you're excited for the videos we've got coming up, if you want to talk more about hypothyroidism, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon for all the videos coming. It's been a pleasure to make this video for you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.